Hello, everyone, and welcome to a 2v1 extravaganza where the Senate and people of Hera, as the Blue Romans, are getting ready to take on the Black Flag Army clan, represented by Akita as the Red Ethiopians and Takerofthehill as the Green Magyars. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, we're not actually going to take a look at the civilizations, but rather we're going to take a look at the bases themselves. Now, if you've watched this channel, you know I have not yet casted a 2v1, although back in my day growing up on Age of Empires in the, what was it, about 2 decades ago, my god, time flies. 2v1s were not that uncommon, and I do remember the key principles of, at least in Deathmatch, what it meant to have a successful 2v1. So whether you're watching this game, whether you're casting a game, whether you're participating in a game, in my opinion, here are what are the important factors to consider in a 2v1, or from Hera's perspective, a 1v2. Most important, location of the principal and secondary resource pile. Hera here, gold, nice and secure to the back. However, stone very far exposed in the front. Secondary stone also separated from the base by a forest. Secondary gold, we'll call it in the backwards position. Now, why am I looking at Hera? Because in a 2v1, likely Hera won't be the one aggressing his opponents unless he wants to leave his base exposed. So you never know. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But we'll take a look at the opponent's bases as well, just because why the heck not? It is important in case Hera decides to put on any kind of pressure. Primary gold for Akita in the back. Primary stone on a hill. Going to make mining this a little bit annoying. Secondary and tertiary gold both clumped in the very forward position, and secondary stone also very far off campus. So his resource is a little bit more secure than Hera because his stone is at least in the backwards position. Takerofthehill, we'll see if he actually takes any hills whatsoever. Primary gold in the 8 infinity upside down, or rather perpendicular infinity sign to the back of the base. Primary stone also forward like Hera's. Gold forward, tertiary gold way off campus. And where is your secondary stone pile? Nice and in the back, and another pile very much in the back. Now, once you've located your resources, here's what I think. If I may be so bold as to propose a game plan for Hera, use all of your economic advantages. And for the Romans, I mean, let's compare. Why the heck not? Before I dive into my spiel about what I think he should be doing, the Romans, the villagers, gather resources, build, repair structures 5% faster. The Ethiopians, villagers not exactly benefiting from any, I guess, direct economic features. They do get 100 food, 100 gold every time they go up in age. They get the pikeman upgrade for free, and their outposts have massive amounts of line of sight, which, by the way, is their team bonus. And the Magyars also not really getting any economic bonuses aside from their villagers are a little bit safer when they go out onto the map because they do kill wild animals with one fell swoop of their swashbuckling cutlass. Now, the interesting thing here is, take a look, Green making a beeline towards Hera. Why? Because he knows his teammate is up here. And so where the hell else could Hera be, if not on the left side of the map? So I don't think, having said and reviewed the economic features, first of all, I think the Romans significantly advantaged in terms of villager productivity and villager power and strength. I don't think harassment here is an option for Hera. I think he's got to bunker down. The name of the game for him needs to be defense. He will be the first to hit feudal, but not by much. Takerofthehill only about 10 seconds behind him. He needs to focus on his defense. However, at the same time, he also needs to make sure that his map vision, I mean, right now, take a look at this. He strudled around his base a little bit. He needs to make sure his map vision is on point. Why? Because take a look at his base. I mean, take it to the north. He's got Ethiopians with the fastest firing foot archers in the game, and the hills are going to be alive with the sound of their archers, crossbows, arbalests, anything they can throw at him. To the right, Oh, man. Complete open plain for these cheaper. Remember, Magyar, Light Cav, their scouts, etc., are all 15% cheaper. So Hera potentially facing a very daunting task with a civilization who, yes, does have economic advantages that I think are more powerful than his opponents, but a civilization that peaks in castle. And so we'll see what he does with a bit of an advantage. Like I said, aggression out onto the map, I don't think that should be a priority right now. He needs to bunker down. His base is completely open to the front, exposed. There are several factors here that are working against Hera. Look, I don't want to, I don't want to, how do I put this? I don't want to make it seem pessimistic, but a quick overview of the base here tells me that there's a few rough spots that Hera's going to have to overcome. First of all, his base is wide open to the east. Second, his resource location, except for this one pile of gold, is absolute shit. Okay. Does manage to shoo away the scout. Remember, though, the Romans, these guys are going to have very significant armor very quickly. Once in about 9 seconds, basically. So aside from this primary gold, man, are his resources absolutely terrible. Stone all the way over here. Gold off campus. Stone off campus. Does have a relic nearby, but that only comes into play in Castle Age. And like I said, your Ethiopian opponent is to the north. Already you see 2 archery ranges. The perfect landscape for the Ethiopians. A big, massive hill. We saw the Viper lose a game, in my opinion, because, I mean, it wasn't the only reason, but a significant factor. Whereas to the east, where the Magyars are coming from, already Light Cav out on, or Scout Cav out on the field, a big open plain for these super lightning fast, cheap units to maneuver. No high ground here for Hera's spearmen, his archer units, whatever he decides to build. So basically, Hera in a bit of trouble here. That being said, if you're noticing the layout of Capture Age on a 1v2 is a little bit different. To the top, you won't see resources. I left them open on the bottom right of your screen. As well, you won't see... Oh, look at that villager. Ballsy villager there. But the scouts are trapped. Okay, Taker of the Hill throwing away a few of these units, all in exchange for 2 villagers. Okay, yeah, not terrible. You're in a 2v1. You can afford to throw away 400 food for 100. Not the best of trades, not the worst of trades. But overall, I mean, let's take a look at where the forests are. Yeah, look at this. Archers are moving forward on the high ground. Let's take a look at their firing rate. 1.7 already. So Hera here playing this brilliantly, by the way. Towers will shoo away archers. Unless they get into the dead zone. Oh no. Unless they get into the dead zone. And now, oh, but now look at this. The archers are basically trapped here until they can be dealt with. But harassment continues. To the right, Hera's got, I'm hoping, spearmen. Yes, they are moving around. Ooh, I don't know about this tower. A tower is not going to scare away a scout cavalry unit. This tower attacks on a 5. This guy already has 2 pierce armor, 3 damage for a unit that any minute now with bloodlines can have 65 HP. Is not exactly a deterrent. What is a deterrent is going to be these spearmen. And Hera, look at this. Secures the stone. Has now pivoted to the right. No kills. However, a lion activates. And let's take a look at green. Looks like he built himself a nice wall off. So I don't know. I don't know who the favorite here to win is, to be honest. The Roman economy is nothing to be scoffed at, and these powerful men-at-arms are going to be able to at least absorb a lot of fire from these archers. The Elos of the players are also on the bottom right, so you can take a look. Taker of the Hill 1592, Akita 1558. These are not noobs. These are not novices. These are some pretty strong players. Lion got drawn into here, it looks like, and now Hera's Again, these are 4 units that he needs at home. 2v1, you have to bunker down, you have to defend. I love the towers against archers because with their absolute shitty HP, 30, towers are going to do a fantastic job shooing them away. Should have built this tower a while ago, to be honest, to back up this one, but this one still has a good amount of HP. And now Hera's completed a wall off to the east as well. Okay, so against the melee units, you have a wall off. Against the ranged units, you have towers. And this is not an area where Akita needs to engage into. And look at that. Fletching finishes just in time. All of these archers, even if they're in the dead zone, are going to take a lot of fire. Mistake by Akita leads to the death of most. Look at him, look at him, look at him, bobbing and diving, weaving. Oh, look at this trail of destruction. These Ethiopian archers. That being said, take a look at Hera's vision right now. This is his map vision. That's why I said you need scouting. If there's ever any player in Age of Empires at the moment that can handle defending against 2 players while at the same time simultaneously scouting out onto the map, it is Hera. I always like to refer people to ACCM's YouTube channel. Once this video is done, go onto your YouTube search, look up ACCM AoE2. He has videos of all the top players. He records them in, I don't know, like 15, 20-second bits where you see their actual, how they play the game. You can actually see the Viper playing Age of Empires. You can see Hera, and Hera's ability to switch between screens is absolutely epic. He's 300 food away from being able to go up to castle. Does he have the structures? I mean, he's got the blacksmith. Now he's getting a market as well, but the market is stopped. Oh no, he's been busted open. The problem, I shouldn't say, I'm going to stop saying the problem because I don't like to use the words like problem and negative words like that. An interesting thing is that if the Magyars and the Ethiopians were different civs, if they were, for example, the Ethiopians and the Britons, or 2 archer civs, 2 cavalry civs, 2 infantry civs, Hera would have an easier time defending. Green making use of his market to go up to castle ahead of Hera, who is housed at 40. Doesn't really care, is going up. But because one civilization is ranged and one civilization is mounted, it might make it very difficult here for Hera to hold on unless he starts getting out heavier cavalry units like the knights. Because what else can you do against both? I'm trying to think of a unit that the Romans have access to. Oh no, blacksmith falls as well. Skirmishers are going to do diddly against these scouts, and spearmen are going to go do diddly against these archers. Hera will be second to castle. It looks like Taker of the Hill will be taker of the quickest to castle prize. But that being said, Taker of the Hill is not stopping Hera from mining this stone. And what's Hera's stone count at the bottom right? 436. Is he going to invest it in town centers? Is he going to invest in more towers? And again, I absolutely love this setup from Hera. He knows ranged units are coming from the north and the west, so plops down towers, because again, towers are going to shoo away a unit with 30 HP, not exactly a unit with 65 HP and 3 pierce armor. This is where he's keeping his melee units. Might want to build a second tower just so he can garrison some of these villagers. Unfortunately, can't put them into the houses. 3 knights immediately being produced here by Taker of the Hill. Let's take a look at his base. 3 stables, 3 archery ranges. So these are players who want to put on a lot of pressure onto our Roman. And the castle, okay, deletes a farm, builds a castle here. I think he wanted the stone under the castle's protection. But look at this, with the scout vision, both Black Flag Army players see the villagers. Remember, this castle is being built 5% faster. This is not a Sicilian castle, but it does go up a bit quicker than a generic castle. The knights are here. Hera's resources are not great. He's got a lot of gold. Let's see whether these cavalry units can stop the production of the castle. It is at 93. It stopped. It stopped. This might just be GG. Oh, no, never mind. Look at that. Green escapes, didn't want to take town center fire and ran away. And so Hera used that exact opportunity to pump out, or rather ungarrison, the villagers. And what is he building? A Centurion. There's a unit that can handle both of these armies. But oh, mama, here comes that Ethiopian siege. No torsion engines just yet, but man, that could be hard to deal with. And this is the problem with static defense, right? You build a tower hoping that it shoos away the archers, but instead this Magyar cavalry force... Oh no, oh no, oh no, the Centurion, the horrible pathing, did you see that? It was moving left and right, it couldn't make it through. It was like when you hold the door open for somebody and you step left and they step right, and then you step right and they step left, and you look at each other like, we're two freaking idiots. You just go left, I'll go left. That's exactly what happened, and then Hera loses a Centurion needlessly. Oh no. Didn't repair the wall off. How much stone? He's got 174 stone. He might want to start building some stone walls here. But I don't know what to say here. Hera's villager count is at 35 compared to 44 and 43 of his opponent. And now there's a siege workshop. He must have seen it, right? Yeah, he's seen it. So he knows something's going to come out of here. A mangonel, maybe. 2 Centurions. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like to second guess the players who I'm casting, but again, in a 2v1 situation, when you are being pressed at home, yeah. I don't know that harassment really needs to be a focus here. I mean, super cool unit. I always love to see these units. Well, that was fun. Hera putting up a solid defense. 28 minutes is not a short amount of time. But let's see here. Let's take a look at his resources, what they look like at the end. Yeah, look at this. 37 wood, sub 100 wood, sub 100 food, 100 gold, and 234 stone. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here in my comfortable chair having zero pressure on me and say, oh, just finish walling this off. It's that easy. Just finish walling it off. But he's got no wood. He's barely got any stone. And let's take a look at his wood pile. I mean, we looked at his gold. We looked at his stone. I was about to look at his forests, but I think I got distracted, as I sometimes / always do. Look at this. He's taking Hera's stone as well. Ugh. But you can't jack lumber here because of the crossbows. You definitely can't jack lumber here. And here is a risky game where the knights have just expelled you. So basically, Hera's villager count on wood should be 0. Where's there even 1? What am I missing? Where's there 1 villager on wood? It must. Oh, there he is. Heading to his death, being sent. He must have just been produced here with a waypoint down south. So look at that. Hera just lost access to all of his lumber to the south, to the northwest, and definitely to the northeast. He still has control of the stone. He still has control of the gold. But if you're going to go Centurion, you need wood for farms. These are not cheap units. 75 food, 85 gold is a lot of resources. That's 160 resources to produce a single unit. And so again, while I think this might have been these two better served down here, I love the castle placement. The market never got up, which means he can't, quote unquote, balance his economy. And right at the end there, I mean, maybe buy 100 stone, but your stone miners are unimpeded. The problem is, again, the wall off is broken. Hera's base has been penetrated, and I'm very curious to see what his APM is. Only 152. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Economy-wise, let's take a look. Yeah, Roman. Constantly harassed. Managed to still get the most stone. But that was fun. But again, Hera, I think, maybe on a more fair map spawn, I think he really got screwed by the map. I mean, I think he's got, economically speaking, the better civilization with the more productive villagers. But the fact that he only has 1 secure resource, and that resource is gold, I mean, if the stone was in the back, he could get out multiple castles. He could create maybe a stone wall off to supplement these houses and these palisades. There's nothing special about these palisades. They're not Cuman. They're not Byzantine. They're just basic bitch palisade walls. And again, the fact that these hills were alive with the sound of crossbows and these big open spaces for the Magyar cavalry to operate in, while the spearmen desperately tried to run and to catch up, I think played into the hands of his opponents perfectly. And so I'm not saying that's why they won, not to take away credit where credit is due. Where were you? Did he run home with these guys? Yeah, it looks like he was heading home. So Hera, you know what, with 2 units, with the benefit of hindsight, 50-50, managed to get 16 crossbows dislodged, although at the end it does look like they decided to turn around and head back. At the end of the day, BFA did a fantastic job, by the way, of carving Hera up into 2 pieces, distracting him constantly, while at the same time getting villager kills. Doesn't matter if it's crossbows to the north, if it's the light cav, and eventually the knights to the east. Kudos to the Black Flag Army for taking down Hera, the #1 player in the world at the moment, in my opinion. Elo, I'm not too sure what the Elo rankings are. Last time I checked, it was MBL. Then the next day, Mr. Yo. Hart is going up in Elos. And but at the moment, I think a lot of that has to do with whether players are playing or taking breaks and letting other players play and improve their Elos and stuff like that. But this was a super fun game. Hera held on for 28.5 minutes. Kudos to him. But ultimately, the BFA clan takes the W, but GG to all 3 players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.